Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Ingalls here. This video is part of my recipe series. However, let me explain again, the recipe for the two recipes I'm going to talk about today are not included in the video. This is a video that supports those two recipes. If you want the recipes, you're going to have to purchase my book, unfortunately. But today I'm going to talk about two of them. The mother-in-law spinach strawberry salad and my tomato Napoleons with tomato dressing, and a little bit of what they are. So the first one, the mother-in-law salad, that is a really good salad. My mother-in-law is the one who made it first, and it's a great summer salad. So it takes advantage of all the foods that you can get during the summer, the fresh strawberries, etc. So if you're looking for a recipe for a summer salad, this is an excellent one. The only thing that I really changed with that recipe, it does call for a half a cup of sugar. And I don't use a lot of sugar or salt when I cook. So I maybe will use a tablespoon, but that's it. It doesn't really change flavors that much. The dressing is still really good. So yeah, that's a great salad. That's the only change that I make to it. Otherwise, it's a good one to serve during the summer. I have served it during the winter. It's okay. It's just, during the winter, it's a little bit harder to get fresh fruits and vegetables that are full of flavor like you do in the summer. So that's that one. The second one that I'm going to talk about is my tomatoes, Napoleons, and tomato dressing. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to look at my notes a little bit. So it's actually two parts. It does cover a full page of details, and it's a little bit cumbersome. The tomatoes you do have to peel, and I do explain how to peel them. It's pretty easy if you just follow those directions here in the book. And I do it two ways. So the tomato dressing, you can actually make that early. For me, it's better if the tomato dressing is made the day before and sits overnight, because those flavors kind of blend a little bit better, and it'll still maintain some of the liquid stuff, but it's not quite as liquidy as it would be if you made it fresh. The other thing that I do with it, I sometimes make that as a meal instead of making it as a salad. I make it as a full meal, and to do that, I do a couple of things. So adding prosciutto to it is really good, or hard salamis are really good, or you can add lump crab meat, tuna, any of those seafoods, or the bacon type is really, really good, and it makes a full meal then. So that's what I do. It actually is kind of carved up like a caprese salad. So you do tomato slices, put it together. I assemble it like a caprese salad. So I line up the tomatoes in a row, and then if I'm going to put meat on it, a lot of times I put the meat between those tomato slices, and then drizzle it with the dressing. It's really, really good. It is a little bit labor intensive, but well worth every minute you spend on making it. And those are the only two things that I really do with those two recipes. So a short video, those two recipes, I pretty much make them exactly the way that they are in there. You can always play with the seasonings and those kind of things, boost those flavors that you're fond of, and reduce those that you're not so much of. Again, I don't really use a lot of salt or sugar in any of it, which is why I like to make all of this from scratch, so I know exactly what's going in there. I am going to do a video following this on the Greek dressing that I make. So the recipe will actually be included in that video, because it's not in my cookbook. It's a Greek dressing. I use it on almost all the salads, and I'll explain why and how I do it in the next video. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me.